The Pope's Exorcist. I should have saw this coming whenever I saw Russell Crowe on the poster. I don't think I've seen a horror movie in the last couple years that blew me as far back with its lack of creativity. There's nothing I love more than a horror film baked in religious imagery, but the choices the writers made with the characters were laughable, and they made the demon seem goofy, but they had to be sure to leave a structure so that they could build infinite sequels upon it. So I just want to ask, please can this not become a series? I don't think I could start this off without bringing up the family. The daughter might be the laziest attempt ever to put an edgy teenager on the screen. Her only personality traits at first were hating her family and locking herself in her room blasting music, but then when the demon possesses her brother, she drops the act completely and becomes the caring sister. The son was the classic trope of the troubled kid who stumbled upon an artifact. The demon locked on to his troubled past and took over his body, but their spin on the genre was probably the funniest way you could take the film. It initially starts with a man with a mental illness, and Russell Crowe uses Jodorowsky's psycho magic by making him feel like he cast the man's demon into a pig before blowing its head off with a shotgun. They do this to show that he's retired from actual exorcisms. Then it shows us a family having to fix up an ancient building, but their young son stumbles upon an artifact. He gets possessed and the demon only wants to meet Russell Crowe. Russell Crowe figures out that the demon is a lot stronger than usual, leading him to find the basement of the building. He finds that the demon had been dealt with in the past and confined. Now they find out that the demon is so strong that he can possess multiple people, but he doesn't want to possess anybody. He wants to possess an exorcist, and especially Russell Crowe because he's working for the Pope. The demon wanted to use Russell to infiltrate and possess the entire Vatican, so the story feels like a Gerald Butler film veiled in a possession story. The Pope reads a paper about the demon and gets possessed, which he passes on to his cardinal. The plotline gets completely forgotten about by the end of the movie. Russell Crowe lets the demon take his soul instead of the kid's, but as he's possessed, they decide to pray and put a cross to his head, and all of a sudden the demon disappears. And the Pope and the bishop, who were seen to be possessed, were perfectly fine in the end of the movie. The demon was the goofiest depiction of a demon ever on screen. He spends most of his time talking about how he was never breastfed and how he wants to fuck Russell Crowe. They also introduced the demon as Asmodeus, the king of hell. The demon is the ruler of all other demons. They emphasize his power to possess multiple people at the same time, that he could take the entire Catholic Church if he could only keep Russell Crowe possessed. But then he's cast off by two priests' willpower and praying. It just feels weak that they built up this demon to have all these huge aspirations, but he was foiled so easily. There was no satisfaction with the ending. It didn't feel to me that the film was over when they excised the demon. I was waiting for the plot point of how the demon had already spread itself to the Pope and the bishop, but this became a large plot hole. Almost as if they wanted to take the ending in a whole nother direction, but chose to cut out everything after the demon was excised from Crowe. And all this feels like the most corporate wish-wash of possession horror tropes, which are delivered with archetypal characters and one of the most laughable wrap-ups of the story. I really hope that this is the first and last of the Pope's Exorcist movie, but it seems like we're going to be seeing a whole series of these coming in the future. I hope you enjoyed watching this, and I'm sorry if you saw the Pope's Exorcist.